What's up, guys, and welcome back to SCUM. Now, we are still just right here, right outside where we were. I did log out and log back in because I'm recording this episode a little bit later. So, there may be more friends in these. I heard of Mr. Happy a second ago, but we're going to kind of ignore that for right now. And we're just going to get down into the meat of this place and see if we can't get into some of those security lockers. And I'm trying to be somewhat quiet just because it wouldn't surprise me if some more friends weren't in those Quonset huts now. And I'd kind of like to avoid those if possible, you know. Uh-oh. Oh no! Okay, he did not see me. I'm gonna hop out. Yeah, I know I'm leaving the truck running, but that's okay. Get over here, damn it. Okay. I don't know that well, I'll tell you what, we might check those. Just because there could potentially be a screwdriver over here. You never know. It's really not in good condition, and it's not... Well, hey, we'll take that. It's not a screwdriver, but it keeps me from going through my lockpicks. You know what? We'll take that and put that on the truck. Why not? Yeah, those magazines are really not, in my opinion, worth selling. I already searched that. Because magazines don't bring very much, and I'm not real concerned about trying to just make a... Ooh, there's a gas mask. That'll sell. I'm not real concerned about just trying to make a whole bunch of money, hand over fist, you know, because I don't really need a lot of money. You know, the biggest things that we needed money for, realistically, were getting the truck fixed up. That took a decent chunk of money. But beyond that, I really don't need a whole lot. You know, I need enough to buy ammo for this rifle, or for whatever other rifle I'm running at the time. But realistically, I don't need to just be super rich, you know. Something I wanted to talk to you guys about, though, was an idea that one of you gave me. One of you had suggested that, just as a goal, I try to just make $1,000,000 in SCUM. That's not really my style, you know, so I don't really know that I'm going to bother too much with something like that, because I don't need that kind of money. What the hell? How do I get into here? But it got me thinking about, you know, just what kind of goals could I set for SCUM? You know, just stuff to do. Because we all know that the game can get repetitive. You know. And there's no story mode to it currently. So you kind of got to come up with your own things to do. So one thing that I had thought about is you know how I've been talking about, I don't know where to make a base, you know, just, I could make one on a river, I could do this little island, you know, do this island here, blah, 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 blah. I thought about for a goal, just kind of a long-term goal for SCUM, for something that would work for me, would be try to make a base in every sector on the island. So we'd end up with, what is it, 25 bases? That would take a good while. Now, these would not all be, you know, ginormous, elaborate bases. Several of them would probably be something like, you know, this little cabin here where you basically take over a place that's already there and you kind of make it your own. You know, plant a garden, dig a well, you know, maybe build some storage, that kind of thing, etc., etc. Some of them, though, would be things of, you know, like on this island where it's like, hey, build something decent, you know. So let me know what you guys think of that idea. We could either kind of work on that this season and just turn this into a really long season, or that could be its own separate season of, um, you know, just the season goal would be build a base in every sector. Now, obviously, for something like that, I would not make you guys watch the entire build process for every location. It would be a lot of me doing stuff off camera and kind of showing you guys the results, giving you guys tours of the different bases. And obviously there would be, you know, a lot of loot runs and stuff in between because we need materials. And so it wouldn't just be a lot of base building, but it would be, that would kind of be the focus of it. Ooh, yes, please, I will take the M1 clip. I would like to run an M1. What I would really like to see in SCUM is an M14. Or just an M1A, the semi-auto version. Banjo. But I would love an M14. It would basically be the same thing as the SCAR-17, or the SCAR-DMR. Ooh, enforced lock. Candy, yes please. You know, it's chambered in .308, 20-round magazine, but it basically looks like the M1, just with a detachable 20-round magazine instead of a fixed internal 8-round magazine. So, that's just kind of a thing on my wish list. I don't know that they'll ever add it, but it would be nice if they did. Now, we're getting close down here. They changed this up a bit, I think. I don't remember this flat section being here. I thought the ramp just kind of came down to about here before. Did it not? Okay, well, I hear a happy over there. So we're gonna... No, don't do that. Well, maybe do that, because... Where are you, Happy? There you are. Are you... Okay, you're just a puppet. Fantastic. I'm fully expecting to run into bandits down here, but we'll see. I really do like this MP5 SD. And yeah, I know there's the Val and the VSS. Ooh, lead blades, yes please. And work gloves, I don't care. But I've tried those before, And I gotta say, I'm just really not impressed with the 9x39 round. Now, maybe they've improved it some for 1.0, I don't know. But before 1.0, I was really not impressed with it. It was not an accurate round. I mean, like 150 meters, it was no more accurate than the pistol caliber carbines like this. And it was also not really any more potent. You know, it still took about the same number of rounds to take down a puppet as this MP5. Now, maybe they reworked it for 1.0, I don't know, but it was not anything spectacular from what I recall. I'm gonna... Did you guys hear something? That may have been one of my pets. I don't know. They're all napping around me right now. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm kind of expecting to run into some bandits around here. I'm not currently seeing anything, but that doesn't mean that they won't be here. What I'm kind of expecting is when I start going up the stairs to get into there, a bunch of them will spawn inside there. That's kind of what I'm expecting. Whether or not that's realistic, I don't know, but, you know. The fact that I'm not seeing a lot of puppets here does make me think that we may be looking at a gunfight here. That's in really bad condition. I don't care about either of those. And the problem with down here is these guys might be decently well equipped. Oh, we'll see. So I hope the lighting down here is okay for you guys. It's kind of dark and dingy, you know? More 9mm, yes please. Always 9mm. 3 rounds of 38 tracer. You guys know me, I don't particularly like the tracer rounds. They're not any more effective than the standard rounds, or at least they weren't before 1.0. I don't know, maybe they changed it. But they certainly weren't any more effective before 1.0. I don't currently see anybody. Huh. I must say I'm a little bit surprised. Now, you know what'll happen? I'll go into this cage here, and then they'll spawn, and I'll be trapped in the frickin' cage. I hope not, but you never know. Anywho, this is why we're here. So let's see what we can get before any friends show up and decide to ruin the party. You know what? I could actually use that water right now. My water bottle is getting low. batteries on us, but that's okay. Okay, well, let's see what we can get. That's the wrong button, stupid. Ah, hey, that's perfect. That MP5 magazine is exactly what I was looking for. Oh. I really wish that we could just get a standard SCAR-17 instead of the DMR version. Just, I don't like the look of the DMR version. I don't like that stock. I don't like the longer barrel on it. You know, I want just a good 308 battle rifle instead of something that's set up to be more of a marksman's rifle, you know? Because we still don't really have things spawning in far enough out that you truly need a DMR like that. And just the standard battle rifle configuration for it would absolutely be good enough for engaging anything out to the distances that things spawn currently, you know. More 9mm. Fantastic. You know what? Hey, there we go. We got a full stack. Go ahead and load that there magazine. I mean, we can have 4 spare mags for this MP5. And I guess we'll go ahead and pick up the VSS. We can try using it. I mean, what we might do additionally, you know, just as a goal, is collect one of every weapon. You know. It could be worth doing, just as, you know, stuff to do. Because, again, you kind of have to make up your own story for these, you know, for SCUM. Perfect amount. That actually did get it right back up to full. Fantastic. You know what? Take this mag out and go there. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, I didn't pick up the VSS yet. My sincerest apologies. Well, we actually didn't find nearly as much in those as I was expecting. Yeah, there are still more. Or there were. Weren't there? Weren't there more lockers in here? Or is that it? Maybe there's more down on that end. I thought there were more lockers than that. If that's all there is, then it was kind of disappointing, if I'm being honest. So hopefully there's more stuff. What am I... Sure, do that. I mean, realistically, we're okay. We got those. We got several boxes of bobby pins. I don't need to take up another inventory slot just for free, you know, a single thing. In single player, the locks don't really matter too much. And I don't remember if they sell worth a crap. The big ones do, you know, like the dial locks or the enforced locks. You know, those sell decently well, but just these little basic ones, you know, the iron locks, I don't know. We have a mobile phone. And I'm not really going to bother taking the boom boxes. Why? Why do you guys just show up now? You know what? I will take those just to have a spare pair of fingerless gloves. There are more lockers. Okay, good. I'm not... Well, I mean, I am crazy, but... I hear multiple happies. Where? There. Crap. Okay, that one's not coming after me. I thought that one was coming after me. Could you go ahead and blow up, please? Where be ye, hap? There ye be. Great. I can't shoot you from here. You bat bastard. Damn it. Can I get you from back here? No, of course not. Why would I be able to do that? Hi, you just stay there for a second, please. I know there was the one on the other side of this building, but I hear another one. Ah, right there. Damn it. That's why I don't like using the third person. It works okay for, like, up close and personal. Maybe. The problem is... Okay, I don't know if you guys can see where the reticle is. Whoop, hi. Okay. So there you can see my reticle is dead center of that kind of white sticker there. But when I go into third person, it's not. It's off to the right. It's like it's probably a full foot to the right. And so it doesn't work real well. You know, that's really unfortunate. Ooh, buckshot. Yes, please. I need to start running a shotgun, too. You know what? That's a decent roll of duct tape. Because we have a couple of good shotguns now. Actually, we have, what, 3? Hey, there's another box of lockpicks. Excuse me. But we've got the SDASS shotgun. You know, the little shorty. We've got the 490. I already have a camo jacket. And then we've got the double barrel. Now, I wonder, can you make the little sawed-off double barrel out of the long one? You know, using a hacksaw, can you do that? I don't know. Because I do like the little short one just it's something you could stow in a backpack, or it doesn't take up much space. You could probably stuff it in a quiver, maybe, I don't know. But the point is, it doesn't take up much room, and then you've got a nice little handy shotgun, you know. Another DMR. Oh, I can't take it. I don't have enough room. Well, that's just terribly unfortunate. There, I fixed it. I wonder, would we actually be better served doing something like... Drop that. Just move all of these down. Man, I hate how it takes up 3 across. That's really unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? Right. Okay, okay. There. Now we have enough room, maybe, for something else there. Ooh, box of 45s. Yes, please. Oh, another DMR. I think maybe the game is trying to tell me something. I think maybe I'm supposed to run a DMR. We got 3 of them here. Jesus. Okay. Well, I could disassemble this one because it's in really not great condition. Use it to repair one of these and use that for a main gun, and then have whatever left of the repair kit, and then sell the other one. So I think maybe we're going to do that. So in the future, the near future, I guess look forward to seeing the DMR. And yeah, I know it's right there. I need to finish this locker first, and then we can grab it. Perfect. Okay. Well, that's everything out of this building. I don't know if they've added any stuff, any better loot just kind of around. But from what I recall before, not that I spent a whole lot of time here, but from what I recall before, those up there were kind of the main reason to come down here. Yeah, you might still find a little bit of stuff in some of the containers around here, but not a whole lot. Now, one of you had mentioned in the comments from the last video about how it's more efficient to just drag stuff over like so, rather than clicking it to get it on the ground and then swing it in here. The reason that I do it the other way, for those of you that don't know, is I have some issues with my wrist. I've got old injuries and also nerve damage in my wrist that make doing a lot of, repetitive dragging like that, longer drags like that are uncomfortable for me. It makes my hand start having a lot of pain fairly quickly. Like right now, I'm having to take my hand off to just kind of flex it a little bit and whatnot. So it doesn't take a whole lot for my hands to get painful doing long repetitive long things like that. So it's easier for me to just kind of just do kind of slow, small movements, and then I don't like it now that we have this on here. I liked it when it was just the next thing over, so you could just kind of you know, that right there, I can do that a lot faster than I can go, you know. So that's why I do it that way. It's more comfortable for me to do it that way. But, anywho, some things you just can't do like that. But like I said, for me, it gets painful fairly quickly for me having to do multiple long drags like that. So these shorter drags are just more comfortable for me. Now, I can do the long drags, no problem. They take longer because my hand starts to cramp up really badly. I don't think there's any more lockers down here, but if there is, we still have, what, 5 screwdriver uses? Anywho, I guess we're going to check this high. Anybody else? No? Okay, good. Is there anything up there? Can we even get up there? As I said, generally speaking, when I come into the submarine base here, I just go for those lockers and get out. So I'm not even sure what all else is here, to be honest with you. I know there's more stuff, but, you know, how much of it is just, you know, stuff like this that's kind of more generic loot, as opposed to actual good stuff, you know? Yeah, I don't know that I can get up there. I mean, there's a guardrail up there. Now, the other side of it is the longer that we're down here, the more risk there is for friends to show up. So, I'm going to check like these to see if we can't maybe score some more screwdrivers. Hey, toolboxes. That works too. Shillelagh. I hear you. A box of nails, sure, we'll take that. Hey, another toolbox, you betcha. Stuff like that, yeah, we'll grab for sure. Motorcycle mask, already got one, thank you. I just want a yellow screwdriver. If I can find a yellow screwdriver, I'll be happy. Drat. I kind of wish that you could buy the screwdrivers, just from the standpoint of, like, it's at least in single player. In multiplayer, yeah, I get not being able to buy screwdrivers. You know, because then you can just buy a bunch of yellow screwdrivers and have essentially unlimited screwdrivers to raid other people's bases. But in single player, you don't really have to deal with that. So, I don't know. For me, too, I still don't quite understand the screwdriver thing. You know, I've got several screwdrivers here at home. And you've got to put a decent amount of torque on them to break them. And you're not going to be putting a decent amount of torque on them for lock-picking purposes. So, to me, it's never quite made sense that the screwdrivers break so easily after just a few uses. You know, I feel like all the screwdrivers ought to essentially be the yellow screwdrivers. Ooh, a raincoat. Yes, please. I could definitely do with a raincoat. Actually, I think I need a raincoat even for making the, I know you're slightly warm. Raincoats don't let your, I mean, they will trap heat like nobody's business. But, I think I need the raincoat for the water collector. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed in the most recent dev update, they addressed the, or acknowledged anyway, the the issue that a lot of people have been having where clothes don't dry very quickly at all. And we've tested this. I don't know if you've seen it in some of our recent live streams, but we can throw clothes directly into a fire, and it still takes them close to an hour real time to dry. So I don't know what's going on there. The devs have said they're aware of it, but they also said they're not really concerned about fixing it right now. They basically said, yeah, it's a problem, but realistically, clothes do dry. They just take a while, but that's kind of your guys' problem, not ours. So that kind of bugs me a little bit. They also more or less did the same thing with the spawn system. They said something to the effect of, yeah, we understand that there's issues with the spawn system. We understand that people have been complaining about the spawn system for a couple of years now, but we're focused on other things right now, so we're not going to dedicate any time to that, so you guys can just deal with it. Which, I don't know, some of the things that the devs do really bugs the shit out of me. Stuff like that. It's like, this has been a problem for years now. I mean, since 0.95, people have been complaining about the spawn system. They improved it slightly with 1.0. It's definitely better than it was, but it's still not good. It's not back to what it was before. And that's what people want. They want something that's as close to what it was before as possible. Now, we are able to do the low player count mode on multiplayer now. So that is helping. But it still doesn't put puppets in the world like it used to. And that has been people's #1 complaint for the last 2 years. Or close to 2 years, anyway. A year and a half. However the hell long it's been since 0.95. That's been the biggest complaint. And so it kind of bugs me when the developers are like, yeah, we hear you, but we don't care. That's your problem. Because they've even said specifically on multiple occasions that they're not going to fix it. Like, we want to just keep adding other stuff. Like, they're talking about adding a Tommy gun, which would be cool. They've been teasing an SKS and a trench gun for a while now, and I would really like to see those. But they didn't say anything about that with this recent update, so I don't know if they've abandoned those ideas or what, but I don't know. The devs do some questionable things sometimes, in my opinion. But, whatever. I don't get a say in that. I mean, I can suggest things to the devs, and I have. But most of the things that get suggested are things that they either say, yeah, we're aware that that's an issue and that people have requested a fix to that, but we're not going to mess with it right now. Or they've just looked at it and said either straight up nope, or yeah, that's a cool idea, we'll consider it at some point in the future, maybe. So, I don't know. Like I said, the devs do a lot. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to harp on them too hard because they have made some improvements with the game for sure. I'm really enjoying 1.0. It is definitely an improvement over 0.95 and 0.96, 0.95 especially. But it's still not the game. Basically, the best thing that came with 1.0 was the graphics update. You know, because the armed NPCs are still kind of broken. You know, I mean, they're okay, but they definitely have issues. And the devs have acknowledged that as well. So, they've said that there's going to be a rework of them and improvements made before the end of the year. So we'll see what happens there. Let's see, that's not even searchable. So we'll see. But anyway, what are some improvements you guys would like to see come to the game? I know a lot of people have requested a helicopter as a new vehicle, and the devs have adamantly said no on the helicopter. For the simple reason of it would make base raiding much easier. Which I don't necessarily disagree, or I don't necessarily agree with. Because right now you could do something similar with just a plane. You know, you'd have to parachute out of the plane. But the point is, if people want to vertically access a base, they can currently. And even just as it is now... Where the hell is he? Is he inside the building? Where are you, Happy? I think he's locked in one of these buildings. I think he's stuck inside that building. I hope he's inside that building and not just glitched through the floor. Because if he's glitched through the floor and he just jumps up and blows me up, I'm going to be upset. So I don't think we're going to bother looting up there. Oh, wait a minute. There you are. Beautiful. But anyway, yeah, as far as a helicopter, you know, even as things are now, we have, like, rocket turrets that would make short work of a helicopter if that's really what they're concerned about. You know, that's kind of one of the whole reasons for doing turrets at the base. Yeah, like right now the rocket turrets are there to defend against dropships and mechs, but that's kind of the same thing as a helicopter. You know, it's an aerial assault on your base. So I don't really see why it would be an issue, aside from the devs just don't want to do it. Which, I mean, that's fair, you know, it's their game, they can do whatever they want with it. But it just... it's kind of frustrating when a bunch of people request something and the devs come up with an excuse that doesn't really hold a lot of water. You know, I'm trying to do this way. That stupid thing is kind of getting in the way, so we may just do it this way, even though it's not the most comfortable way for me, but that's okay. I'll just do it slower. Hey, why don't you load that up? I should have used the full one there and then just combined the two remaining stacks, but that's okay. Anywho, one thing I would like to see come to SCUM is the ability to ride the horses that we can hear around the map. Oh, did it actually get it full? No, that's 45, stupid. But I would like the ability to ride the horses that we find around the map. That would be a fun mode of transportation that would not need fuel, but could maybe carry more than, say, the, you know, bicycle or dirt bike. You know, it would, basically with the horse you could have kind of similar storage capacity, I guess, to the cruiser. But not have to use fuel. Now, that being said, perhaps your horse could get spooked, or, you know, it could get killed easier than destroying a bike. But okay, that building down there is the one that had security lockers in it. I don't know if it still does or not. I'm going to check this little workshop over here real quick, see if we can't find some screwdrivers, maybe. And then we're going to head down that way, and I'm going to check that building to see if it does still have... yeah, I hear you in there. To see if it has security lockers in it still, or not. If it does, great, we'll hit those. If not, then oh well. Well, there's a small screwdriver. Not what I was hoping for, but, I mean, they add up. Also, this still needs to be fixed. You know, you still have puppets glitching through walls and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know what all that entails in terms of programming for fixing something like that, but that is still something that needs to be addressed. Now, it doesn't seem like it's quite as bad as it was before 1.0, because you guys saw in a couple of my videos, like, particularly over at the... is it the cement factory, I think? I know I don't really need these, but that's okay. But they would literally just walk through the walls of the building. Like the you know, several feet thick brick walls surrounding that place, they would just walk right through them as though the wall was not there at all. So it's definitely an issue. I'm going to search this one, and that's probably going to be about it as far as searching this type of building, unless we find some decent stuff. But this will be it for this video in terms of searching these. I don't really like the thin wire. I much prefer the medium or the thick wire for, or line using for fish. Well, poo. So far, not finding anything that I really want here. So the only reason that I really search these at all is hoping to find screwdrivers. And we're not finding anything. But you know how that goes. Anytime you're looking specifically for something, that's the one thing that you're not going to find. It's if you're not looking for it, then you'll find it. Yeah, this one's just nails, primarily. I mean, we are finding some toolboxes, too, so that's good. Ooh, lead plate. Yeah, we'll take that. Because I do need to craft some ammo. Okay, I know there's a whole bunch of stuff that we can search out there. And I'll probably do that off camera. But there's not really a whole lot of reason to make you guys sit here and watch me just search every freaking container out here. You know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you guys like that. I know a lot of you do. You do just kind of like the laid-back style of this channel where it's mostly just me playing the game while rambling about stuff, as opposed to it being super-duper exciting. But I could make an entire series out of just talking about random stuff while being incredibly boring in SCUM. Let's see, that's not one of those. Ooh, hey, there's a seaplane. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm. Yeah, I hear you over there, Grumble Grumble. Okay, we need to keep that in mind, that there is, in fact, a seaplane here. Is that barracks or is that a mess hall? That looks like a mess hall. Okay, well, we are going to check this building down here to see if it's got anything good in it. And then we'll probably call it for this episode for today, anyway. But let me know if you guys want to see more of the tedious stuff of just kind of going around searching all these random places like this. Honestly, I don't really want to record all of that, just from the standpoint of it takes a lot more time to do it when I'm recording. You know, I do play a little bit differently when I'm not recording versus when I am recording. Yeah, I know you're toasty. How toasty are you? You're fine. Yeah, and you're hungry. You'll be fine. Damn. Alright, they destroyed this, but see, this building right here was the armory. Are you upstairs? You gotta be upstairs, right? No, you're in there. So that room still exists, apparently. You just can't get into it. That's unfortunate. He's gonna come through the door at any point. He'll just phase through the wall, because, you know, that's what happens. You know, that shirt... Yeah, he sounds like he's right on top of me, so... Yeah. Can you poke your head through the door a little bit more there, buddy? Come on. Damn it. You guys know exactly what's going to happen. He's going to end up coming through that door. Hey, look at that. I got a new shirt. It's much cleaner than my other one. Yeah, he's going to phase through that door at any moment and just start smacking me in the face. Yep. There we go. Okay, well, I don't know that this building is worth searching now. That's really unfortunate. You know what? I will take the wine cork, though. Yeah, I mean, there's no security lockers in this building anymore, I don't think, unless they just put some random ones out, which I don't believe that... Well, hey, there's some shotgun shells. Don't care. Yeah, why did I pick that up? It's a Kruger magazine. One, I don't have a Kruger, and I don't want a Kruger. And two, magazines don't sell anyway. I mean, they do, but not for very much. Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to bother searching the rest of this. I'm going to come up here and look and see if there's any lockers. If there are, great, we'll search those. Actually, I'll search these, because these might have screwdrivers. Or they just have nothing. That's fine, too. Okay, well, I don't think we're going to find anything else good here. Oh, good. Some 22 ammo for that Kruger mag that I just picked up. Fantastic. Hey, there's actually some decent ammo. Alright, one more floor. Let's do a quick run through. Anywho, I think that's probably about going to do it for this episode, guys. Let me know what you think on the idea of doing like a base in every sector as just kind of a goal to work towards. If you like that idea, let me know, and also let me know... Oh, well, I mean, it's a screwdriver. Let me know if you'd like to see that as part of this season, or if you want me to just do a dedicated season to that. The reality is it would work fine for this season because we haven't really accomplished much of anything or set any goals for this season. Well. So, let me know what you think on that idea. And if you don't want to see that this season, then let me know what else you would like to see this season. Like I said, we're going to go back up to the trenches at some point and run those, because one of you asked for that. And then, like I said, while we're down this way, we're going to just kind of hit this big south island here. So, look. I thought I just heard a happy. Anyway, so I guess look for an episode probably on the the motocross track, maybe one on this town. I don't know. We'll see. But definitely on the train yard and the torpedo factory. If there's any other locations down this away that you guys would like to see, let me know. We can also go over and just kind of explore this island and see kind of what we think of it. There's not a whole lot there, but like I said, there is. I think it was a lighthouse out here on the point, and yeah. If we're going to do a base in every sector, this island here is probably where I would do the base for Z4. Whoop, why did my mouse go way over there? Just from the standpoint of, if I did it on this one or this one or this, then we would have to have a boat or a seaplane. Whereas this one we can just drive because of the bridge. And, I mean, I guess there looks like there may be a little beach cove right there that we could do one at if we wanted to do it that way. But, yeah. We'll see. Anywho. I guess that's about it for rambling. I'm pretty sure there was something else I wanted to say, but I don't remember what it was. So, it must not have been very important. So, we are going to just plug all the links in the description as per usual. We've got St. Jude Children's Hospital and Wounded Warrior Project, both linked in the description. So, if you'd like to support either of those charities, go check out those links. We've also got the Discord server for the, yeah, there's nothing in there, for the Wolfpack multiplayer SCUM server. It's the server that I do all of my SCUM live streams on. It's a nice chill PvE server. So if you're looking for a place to just kind of hang out and have some fun with some other people and not worry about getting shot in the face, at least by other players, it's a great server. It's also a great place to just start out if you're new to SCUM, because there's a lot of people that like to help. If you want to squad up with somebody, it's pretty easy to find somebody to squad up with. And if you just want to go off and do your own thing, that's cool too. But the settings for it are pretty similar to my single-player settings here. So there's no sentries, no drop ships, but there are NPCs. And we do have the puppet numbers bumped up. I'm not sure if they're bumped up to maximum, but they're pretty darn close. You pretty well get the same kind of puppet numbers that we have on here. We've got loot slightly boosted, animals boosted, etc., etc. So like I said, it's a pretty just chill server. So if that sounds interesting to you, go check out that link. Make sure to read the server rules page on that Discord. That will give you the rules and the settings for the server, and then if it sounds like a good fit for you, get in touch with either myself, Necros, or Cornbread. We are the admins for the server, and we will get you set up with the password. And then we have my wife's YouTube channel, where she does a variety of videos, including kind of ambient rain relaxation videos, comedy videos, paranormal videos, where she posts various informational videos on just different paranormal locations, as well as paranormal evidence that we have captured on some of our personal investigations. And then we also do family live streams over on her channel, where we play games like Phasmophobia, Demonologist, and Ghost Exile. So if any of that content sounds interesting to you, go check out my wife's channel. And other than that, I can't think of anything else, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.